Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Friday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, and I help folks create a side income using social media. Welcome. Good to see you. What is happening on a Friday night? People are joining me live. Welcome. I see people from Iran. I see people from America. Wow, this is pretty cool. We are live everywhere on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. We are live, and you are going to enjoy this live for sure. How are you doing, my friends on Instagram? Welcome. Good to see you. If you're new to my lives, welcome. If you're a vet, then good to see you again. So tonight I want to talk about stories from grandfathers, right? You see some folks, Jenny, how are you? I see you. Welcome. So throw some hearts. Those of you who are here on Instagram or TikTok and Facebook and stuff, throw some hearts. Don't be shy. Come on now. I love some stories from grandpas. Especially the ones that have a lot of wrinkles on the face. I feel like the wrinkles tell a lot of stories, right? There's a lot of stories behind each wrinkle. So I really appreciate some of those old stories. Now, when it gets kind of repetitive, when they like, yeah, that's funny. Farmer, stay tuned. You never know. When it gets to be as the same story over and over and over and over again, and then yeah, then I probably check out. But some of these stories are priceless, right? So this this grandson goes to his grandpa, excuse me, and asks him, says, "Hey, what's the secret to become successful?" Glow, I see you. Welcome. And he says, "Because you know what? When I grow up, I really want to be successful. I see it. I see myself on camera over here on TikTok, and I see myself on camera here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. It's like I'm so dark over here. It's the same lighting. Like literally, the cameras are not even an inch apart from each other. Why is this? I'm so dark. Anyway, I feel like this is. Anyway, let's go. So he says, you know what? I want to be successful when I grow old. I really want to be successful. And the grandpa doesn't say a word, and they end up going to a nursery, and they buy don't digress, yeah, and they don't digress, right? And they end up buying two identical plants, baby plants, and they come back home, and the grandson helps the grandfather to plant these two plants, one in a pot and one outside in the garden. So, and they keep one inside and they keep one outside. Years go by, and the grandson seems like he forgot about the question until he gets in high school. And then one day he comes home and he asks his grandpa and says, "Grandpa, I read about this stuff in school, and when I think about it, you never really um, gave me a straight up answer years ago when I asked you, hey, how do I get so successful like you?" You know? And then the grandpa says, come. So he takes him to the plant that is by the window inside the house. And he says, "Do you remember this plant, Glow? Thank you. Says, you remember this plant? And he says, yeah, I remember buying this plant and that one outside. And he points to the one outside. And the grandpa says, yeah. So which one do you think is more successful, stronger? And he looks at the one inside the house by the window. It's a pretty nice, size. It's grown to be a good, decent size. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you, thank you. And he looks outside, the one outside, and it seems like massive to the one compared, to the one inside. And he tells his grandfather, he goes, well, I think it's the one outside. It looks a lot stronger, but that doesn't make any sense because we've had storms, we've had things to come through, and yet, how come that one, seems to be doing a lot better? And the grandpa, and I know what you're going to say, the roots. I like that because that's a different a different takeaway, and I've talked about that before. But this takeaway is going to surprise you. And the grandpa says, yeah, it's the one outside, and it's really because this one is sitting inside at its comfort zone and not faced with the challenges, not faced with the storms of life, not faced with all the stuff that goes on outside. It's this one inside has been cared for and taken care of. There have been no storms, nothing that this plant had to ever worry about. But that plant had to grow to be stronger if it wanted to make it, right? Sometimes team money, sometimes maybe a lot of times, right? When we choose the easy life, life doesn't end up to be so easy, so comfy, because you're restricted. Sometimes when we choose the harder path, that's when we can really experience the sky is the limit. That's when we can really experience that. When you're inside in the comfort zone, in the home, inside the room, you can only grow so much. You don't grow to your potential. You don't grow to what God made you to be. You just don't. Because you put a roof about yourself, on yourself. You limit yourself, and it's amazing because, the struggles and the scars, the wrinkles on the face, right? All that, all those tell so many stories and tell so many struggles and tell so many obstacles. And I love those, right? And I you've heard me say this before many times, don't hide the scars. Be proud of the scars. Be proud of the wrinkles. Be proud of everything, because that's pretty much life and that's your story, right? So if the path you want to take includes success, then you want to step outside. You won't be able to do it inside. Inside, not much room for growth and success. Outside, very much, very much. So hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Those of you live everywhere. I'm seeing people live on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube even. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. And if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, then tag your peeps to it. It's a safe zone, I promise. With that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com. and I help folks create a side income using social media. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.